This is Phelps Lake, the second largest lake, natural lake in North Carolina. This is one of the trails, hiking trails. It's near the boat launch. Boggy soggy. This is one of the cool things about these sycamore trees. And they're giants. They're very old. A lot of them are hollow inside. Look at this one. You can see right through it. This is a picnic area for the boat ramp. This is a campground, Pettigrew State Park. "12 sites, I think is what it is. And you go down that road and continue past the campground through that opening, and you see a building there. That's where the plantation is. It's been a foggy morning. All right, here's one of the Tundra Swans taking off or flying, I guess. And a bear. This is inside the office. And here's one nesting. Tundra Swan. This is Somerset Plantation. It was one of the largest plantations in North Carolina. And it's on Lake Phelps. That was the first scene you saw. And these are some, I think that's the kitchen there. And this right here is a hospital or office or something like that. And then those are the slave quarters down there. I like the way they have two decks, upstairs and down on both sides. Of course, they had to add a little bit, the modern part, the ramp. See how they have the ceilings on the porches painted blue? Only one door. And look, the daffodils are popping out there. This was the kitchen cooking area. So it's got 5 chimneys. One of these would be a smokehouse, and I don't know if they had an ice house or not. Look how they have this so neatly pruned. It's a whole complex back here. I'll find out tomorrow what these are. There's a few more signs down here. And that is the parking area right there. One of these was a jail and a chapel. A is Lake Chapel, B is jailhouse. The chapel and jailhouse were side by side. The stocks would be here. And this was the overseer's home. And they were pretty harsh. You can see how overcast it is. Look at this. Looks like a mud flat area. I got here too late for the Tundra Swans. And the lady that worked at the state park, one of the rangers, said they counted around 30,000 this past winter. That had to be a heck of a noise and sight to behold. It's not very deep right here. About 2 feet. Lots of cypress trees. It's boggy. They can stand having wet feet. They got knees to breathe. Look how fat that one is at the bottom. So originally, the lake shoreline was within about 30 yards of the house, which seems kind of crazy to me. Seems like you would have maybe storm surge from a hurricane, but so they say. So this house was built in 1839. By Josiah Collins III. third generation of Collins to own it. Well, it's about 1.5 feet deep right here. They did a little bit of pruning of the cypress trees, as you can see. There was a full moon last night, but I couldn't see it because it was clouded over. Here we go. Here's a cypress swamp. The plantation owner, the Collins, had something like 100,000 acres. But most of it was swampy, and they had to drain a great deal of it to make it productive, which meant cutting down the trees, getting up the stumps. That had to be a heck of a job. And it was all done by manpower and not machinery. No Spanish moss, though. I guess we're too far north or too far inland, one or the other. Okay, let's go over here to the pier and check it out. So there's a foot trail. I think it ends right here. It starts at the plantation house and ends right here. Look at all the knees on that tree. I don't know what the circumference of this lake is. It would be quite a paddle around it on a kayak. Okay, here we go. Panoramic shot. You can imagine the noise from 30,000 Tundra Swans. Sorry, I missed it.